interpolation, which is coming under Unit 4 of Engineering Mathematics 4. So before entering into interpolation, we see this definition by using a example. Consider a function y is equal to f of x, where x is an independent variable and y is a function of x. Now, I'm going to define this function by using a numerical data set. So, for example, you consider, let x denotes the year and y denotes the population of a certain town in lakhs. So, I'm going to consider the values for x to be 1995, 2000, 2005, 2010, 2015. And the population to be 5, 8, 10.5, 12, 15 respectively in these each years. Suppose we want to calculate what was the population in the year 2007. So I don't have in the data set 2007, but the thing is 2007 lies inside our data set. So in that case, I can use interpolation. So interpolation is what? It is a process of calculating the value of y for the given x, where x and y are related such that y is equal to f of x. And 2007 lies inside your data set. So this process is called as interpolation, and since we are using numbers, we call this as numerical interpolation. And what is the population in the year 2018? That is the next question. Where 2018 lies? It lies outside your data set. So in that case, I can do the value calculation of what is y when x is equal to 2018 still, but that process is called as extrapolation. So what is meant by extrapolation? When a value lies outside your data set, even then I can calculate what is y for the given x, and the process is called as extrapolation. And extrapolation is beyond the scope of our syllabus, and we are going to see only interpolation. Now again go to question number 3. What was the population in the year 1997? Where 97 lies? It lies inside our data set, and it is nothing but interpolation. But what difference I have when compared to 1907 and 14? You see 14 also lies inside your data set. 97 also lies inside your data set. And what difference they have? They are common. We can calculate the corresponding value of y, that is the population in these 2 years, by using interpolation method. But the only difference is 97 lies close to the initial value of the data set, and 2014 lies close to the end value of the data set. So when we want to calculate more appropriate result for these 2 values, I can use different formulas for calculating the respective population in these 2 years. What is that? I can use Newton's forward interpolation formula whenever the value lies close to our initial value. And I can use Newton's backward interpolation formula whenever our x value lies close to our end value of the data set. So we are going to see the mathematical definition now for defining what is interpolation. So let y equal to f of x be the given function defined in the interval a comma b. The process of evaluating the intermediate value of y for any given x, where x lies inside the interval a comma b numerically, is called interpolation. In the similar way, the process of evaluating intermediate value of y for the given x, where x lies outside the interval a comma b numerically, is called extrapolation. So based on these 2 definitions and based on the definition interpolation, we are going to work for further. So in interpolation, I need some more further definitions. So we'll see one by one. And before entering into the appropriate interpolation methods, we can broadly divide interpolation into two equal parts. What are they? One is equally spaced, the other one is unequally spaced. What is the meaning for equally spaced? So you go back to a data set which I have taken as an example. Here you see only the x values. How the x values are? Using this only, we are going to calculate the respective y. So the x values are equally spaced. How I am saying this? You see how the successive values of x, they have a common difference. In this example, the common difference is 5 years. So I'm going to denote always the common difference as, once again, are you able to hear my voice? You have any problem in my voice? Okay. So here the common difference is always denoted by h, and in this example the value of h is 5. So whenever we have equally spaced values, x values, then for that set of data set, I need to work out for interpolation using certain set of formulas only. The second set is, suppose the successive values of x are not equally spaced. In that case, we are going to work out with a different formula. So we are going to see now again the broad subdivision of numerical interpolation. One is the data set are equally spaced. The other one is the data set are not equally spaced. So for equally spaced and for unequally spaced, there is a general method which was derived by a mathematician called Lagrange. So Lagrange derived a method called Lagrange's method, and using this, I can do for any set of data, whether it is equally spaced or unequally spaced, the interpolation. And for equally spaced alone, we have forward interpolation and backward interpolation. Just now I explained what is meant by forward and backward. Whenever we have the calculating value of y for which the x lies close to our initial value of the data set, we call it as forward. And if the x value lies close to the end value of the data set, we call it as backward. So using these formulae, we'll get more accurate results when compared to a general method. And also one more drawback in Lagrange is, Lagrange method is very lengthy for doing calculation. In that case, when we have two simple methods for equally spaced, we'll go always for these two formulae, and for unequally spaced, no other option will go for Lagrange's. So finally, what is the conclusion? When we have a problem under interpolation, first segregation is whether the data set is equally spaced or unequally spaced. When x values, successive x values are obtained from the previous x value by using a common difference, we call it as equally spaced. If it is not so, we call it as unequally spaced. And for both the cases, the general method for doing interpolation is Lagrange. Lagrange is applicable for any data set. And for equally spaced, the special cases are forward interpolation and backward interpolation. So according to this broad split, I'm going to now see problems under equally spaced first, and then we'll go for unequally spaced. So under equally spaced, that is, x values are equally spaced. We are going to see some basic definitions, some basic notations, then only I can enter into the problems. So consider a function y equal to f of x, where x is an independent variable and y is an independent variable depending on x. Consider, for example, a data set. Here, x values I am going to assume equally spaced. Okay. So x0, x1, x2, x3, x4 means here x1 is, how I am getting x1? X1 is obtained by adding a value h. X1 is obtained from x0 by adding a value h. What is h? The common difference. What is h here? The common difference. So in the same way, x2 is obtained by adding a value, the same value h, and it will be added to x1 to get x2. So this is the meaning for equally spaced. Now I'm going to consider the differences of y values. See, for y values, there is no restriction. You can have any difference. It's not like equally spaced as x values. Here I'm going to consider the differences of y values. So when I go for differences of y values, always we have to consider successive minus previous. Successive minus previous. So I'm seeing here y1 minus y0, y2 minus y1, y3 minus y2, etc. Now these differences we call it as finite differences of y. And the notation for these differences I'm going to use as del. Del is nothing but called as an operator. What is operator? Operator means doing some mathematical operation. What operation here we are doing? We are doing subtraction. That is the differences. How the difference is calculated? Succeeding minus previous. But you see how I am denoting y1 minus y0? Del y0. That is the initial value. The same way, y2 minus y1, how I am going to do? I am denoting that as del y1. That is always the preceding value. Okay. So in the same way, I'm using all the notations. Since the differences we are doing only once, that is the first time, we call this as first order finite forward differences. And del is called as a forward finite difference operator. The same way, I can find out the difference of the differences. That is del y1 minus del y0. So that we call it as second order forward differences. See the table here. I have constructed a table called finite forward difference table. In this table, I have tabulated the x values and y values as first two columns. And in the third column, we have del y. So what is del y? First order finite difference. In this one, you can see how I have calculated y1 minus y0. And the notation here is always preceding del y0. Then y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1 means here the preceding is y1. The same way I have calculated, and you see the number of entries here, always one less when compared to the y values. How many y values I have taken? For example, 5. And under the first column of differences, I have only 4. Now I'm going for second order finite differences. What it is? It is the difference of differences. That is del y1 minus del y0. And we use a notation del square y0. And you see the notation here, y0. What is y0 here? The first value of y. Okay. Then del y2 minus del y1 is del square y1. In a similar way, I can construct the third order differences, fourth order differences, etc. How long I can extend the table? Until I get a single value in one particular column. So here I have for y entries, the original data entries are 5. And since because I am considering 4 successive differences, in the del power 4y, I am having a single entry. So which we call it as del power 4y, and we stop up to this the process. Okay. So this is called finite forward difference table. Now we'll go for the next case, backward. Okay. Next one is backward. Here again I'm assuming the same example, y equal to f of x, which is numerically defined with the data set x0, x1, x2, etc. x4, and y0, y1, y2, y3, y4, the corresponding y values. Again you consider the same differences. What differences? Second minus first under y values. Succeeding minus previous. So when we do these differences, we call this as finite differences, already you know, but I'm going to use one more notation called inverted del. What is inverted del? It is nothing but backward finite difference operator. And how the notation is, you see here, del y1 minus y0 is del y1. That is always the successive. Can you understand the difference between the previous case and this case? In the previous case, what we had y1 minus y0 as del y0. That is always the previous. That is called forward. Under backward, y1 minus y0 is denoted by the backward operator del, but always the succeeding. So in similar way, I can find out the second order differences, third order differences, etc. And for the same example, I have constructed a table which is called finite backward difference table. And here I have entered what is x and what is y, and I have got the corresponding differences in the columns. You see the first column, y1 minus y0 is del y1. y2 minus y1 is del y2, etc. It goes on. And where I need to stop? Until in a particular column, I get a single value. Now I'll tell you a logic again here. What is the logic? Here, in this one, we can see easily in each column, the entry which is maintained till the end. You see, the last y value of the data set is maintained till the end of the table. In the similar way, you can see in forward difference table also. The first initial y value is maintained till the end of the data set. So this is a logic you should understand while constructing the forward and backward difference table. Now we'll go for a problem. So for the first problem, I have taken a simple example. In this example, you see, before entering into the example, I'll give you the formula also. The formula is derived by Newton, the mathematician, and he has given two different formulae. One is called Newton's forward interpolation formula, and the other one is called Newton's backward interpolation formula. Why we have two different formulae? Because to get more accurate results or the prediction of y for a given x, we have two different formulae. Whenever x value lies close to the initial x value of the data set, we use forward. Whenever your x value lies close to the final value of x or the end value of x, we use backward interpolation formula. So first thing is, whenever a problem under interpolation is given, first checking is identify whether x values are equally spaced. Then, if it is equally spaced, go for the next checking. What is the next checking? What is the y value you need to calculate for the corresponding x? That x value identified. Where it lies, close to initial or close to end. Close to initial means Newton forward. Close to end means Newton's backward. So now we have taken a problem under Newton's forward interpolation formula. So a simple direct problem, find the value of y when x is equal to 41. So now you see where 41 lies. 41 lies close to your initial value of x in your data set, and therefore I need to apply Newton's forward interpolation formula. Since x is equal to 41 lies close to your initial value. Then, what is your formula you see? Y is equal to y0 plus n by 1 factorial into del y0 plus n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial into del square y0 plus n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 del cube y0 by 3 factorial plus etc. It goes on. Where it stops, you know how to construct a finite difference table. In the table, how many differences exist, the order of the difference. Till that, I need to extend my formula. Suppose the example what I have taken in my previous case, you see, till del power 4 I have, and therefore in my formula, I need to extend till del power 4. So here I have taken up to x del power 3, and the problem, what values I need to apply this formula. I need the initial y0, del y0, del square y0, del cube y0, etc. which are available in our finite difference table. And there is one more new value called n, and this n is nothing but obtained by calculating what is x minus x0 by h. What is h here? The common difference under x values. You know x values are equally spaced. So surely you can have a common difference value h. And what is x0? The initial value of the data set. What is x? X is nothing but the value for which you need to calculate Y. Okay. So through this, I can calculate what is N. So in this problem, you see, I've calculated N, which is X is equal to 41 minus the initial value is 40 by the common difference here is 10, 40, 50, 60, 70. So the common difference is 10 equal to, if I simplify, I'll get 0.1. So finally, I got N is equal to 0.1 in this problem. And now what I need actually, I need all the order of del values, that is del y naught, del square y naught, del cube y naught, etc. So I'm going to calculate these values by constructing a table. What is a table you see here? I have constructed a table. In the table, what is the first column? The first column is X. The second column is Y, which are given in our problem. I've entered everything. Now I'm going to calculate the finite differences until I get a single value in my column. So that much order you need to calculate. So the first del y is, you see here, 204 minus 184, which is 20. 226 minus 204, which is 22. Always succeeding minus preceding. In this way, you need to work. Suppose you get negative sign, you have to include the negative sign also. So here I have del y. You see del square y also the same way. 22 minus 20 is 2. 24 minus 22 is 2, etc. I got everywhere 2. And therefore del cube onwards, every entries are 0. So in that case, now I need to identify what values I need for doing the Newton's interpolation formula. Again, I have written under the table, you see, Newton interpolation formula, and there I have replaced whatever values we have calculated here. So you see the table set, I have marked whatever values I need. For calculating N, I need X naught, so X naught is here. And for calculating Y naught, the formula Y naught I have entered, then del Y naught is the first entry under del Y column. Del square y naught is the first entry under del square column, etc. It goes on. So marked all entries which I need for doing the formula. So now what I'm doing, I'm applying in the formula. You see each and every term, I've entered the values there, and after simplification, we are getting 185.91. So for doing this section, already I've done unit 3 in the regular classes, and you know how calculators must for doing these problems. So in these problems, you have to do calculator, and you need to practice more using calculator because that will improve your speed so that you can do faster in the exams. Okay. The next thing is you need to consider decimal values. So whenever decimal values are there in the calculation part, consider up to 4 decimal places. So when you consider up to 4 decimal places, see the 5th decimal place. If the 5th decimal place is greater than 5, add 1 to the 4th decimal place. If the 5th decimal place is less than 5, you just neglect 5th decimal onwards, consider up to 4 decimal places. So again, I repeat, whenever you get decimal numbers in your calculation, you consider decimals up to 4th decimal place. And then you consider the calculation approximate finally. So now I'm getting in this problem 185.91, which is the corresponding Y value for the given data set where X is 41. You see, it lies in between these two values. Your Y value lies in between these two values. So your answer is correct. So now we'll go for the second example. Whatever examples I have considered in this PPT, you can see each and every problem will be of different case. So when you do practice all the different cases in this one at least once. So now I have taken the second example. You see, it's not like a table. It has been given values. I need to calculate e power 1.85 where e power 1.7 is given, e power 1.8 is given, e power 1.9 is given, e power 2, e power 2.1 and e power 2.2 are given. So for these given values, using this, I need to calculate e power 1.85. So how to do this? First of all, I need a data set. So here I'm going to take the function as, what is the function? Y is related to x. How? Always y is f of x. Here y is equal to e power x. That's what I'm going to take because I need to calculate e power 1.85. So if I take x is equal to 1.85, then e power x is y. So we need a corresponding value, what is y. So you see the data set now I have constructed here. The data set is, if x is 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, the corresponding values are given here. You see, I've entered all these values as my y. So now I got what is x and what is y. Based on this, I'm going to work out further. What are the checkings I need to do? First, x values are equally spaced. Then second, the value of y for which you need to calculate x, where it lies. It lies towards the end or towards the initial value of the data set. So here, what is x value? How they are spaced? They are equally spaced. What is the common difference? 1.8 minus 1.7 is 0.1. So here the common difference is 0.1. In similar way, you can see the other values also. One just cross check so that you can identify the data set is equally spaced here. So H is here 0.1. Okay. What is the next thing I have to check? Where is my x lies? What is the x value I need to calculate for which y is what? 1.85. So where is 1.85 lies? Here you see in between second and third x value. So I am going to use Newton's forward interpolation formula. Because 1.85 is close to 1.7. That is the initial value of the data set. Okay, now what are the values I need for doing this? I need what is n first. Then I have to calculate or I have to construct a finite forward difference table. So first we'll calculate n value. Formula you know, x minus x naught by h. I'm going to replace what is x naught. X is 1.85, x naught is 1.7 and h is here 0.1. And therefore simplifying this, I can see n value as 1.5. Okay, now we are going to construct the forward difference table. Now you see how the initial values are given, y values. They are decimal values and he has given already in the problem up to 4 decimal places. So when I do simplification also, my answer should be up to 4 decimal places. I should not appropriate or approximate to 2 decimal or 1 decimal place because it may be having a loss. That is, your value will not be close to your exact value. Is it okay? Right. So now I'm going to calculate the finite differences of y values. Second minus first always. And the data set reduces. Finally, they end up with del power 5 y, where I have a single entry under del power 5. Okay. Here also I'm going to use Newton forward. Already we have explained that. And according to Newton's forward formula, I am replacing all the values from the forward difference table. I'm replacing all entries here, including n minus 1, n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 by 3 factorial into del cube, etc. It goes on. So I have entered the remaining 2 terms here, simplified. You see, after 4th term, I am getting almost equal to 0 the entries. So I have returned negligible terms. And hence, I am getting the value to be 6.35975. And according to the given problem, he has approximated up to 4 decimal places. So I even approximated up to 6.3598. So you can do one cross-checking. What is the cross-checking? Whether your answer is correct or not. How to do this checking? What is the question? E power 1.85. This value only you are calculating now. This you can directly do the calculation using your calculator. In that one you can see it is 6.3598 or 97 something it will extend, and since we are approximating up to 4 decimal places, we are getting 6.3598. Okay, so now we'll go for the third problem, which is again a different case. So you see here x entries and tan x entries are given. So what is y here? Y is tan x. That is f of x is tan x. So he has given 4 entries under x, 45 degrees, 46 degrees, 47 degrees and 48, and the corresponding tan x values are also given. And what I need to calculate, tan 45 degree 15 second. So I'm going to calculate what is n first. What is n by formula? X minus x naught by h. So initial checkings are over. The x entries are equally spaced. So I'm going to use Newton's formula. The next one is I'm having what is tan x. Okay. So here n is equal to x minus x naught by h, which is 45 degrees 15 second minus 45 degrees by what is h here? H is 46 minus 45 degrees, which is 1 degree. So now you are getting in the numerator, the difference will be 15 second. 1 degree is equal to 60 second and therefore it is 1 by 4. So n value is immaterial of the units. So I should not write in seconds here. It is 1 by 4, which is 0.25. So now I got n. Then I got the forward difference table also in the same page. You see here, I've entered x value, y value, del y, del square y, and del cube y. And I have calculated the differences. Since your x value lies close to your initial value, we are using forward difference. And therefore, we need what is y naught, del square y naught, and del cube y naught from the table. So I have calculated everything. I'm going to apply everything in the formula. So I'm writing the Newton's forward interpolation formula and replacing n value into del y naught, n into n minus 1 by 2 into del square y naught, n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 by 3 factorial, which is 6, into del cube y naught, etc. It goes on. And here in our table, you can see the last entry is del cube y naught. So your formula ends up with del cube and there is no plus etc. And hence, after simplifying each and every term, you can see the value of y is approximated according to the problem. What is the problem you see? The problem has given tan x values up to 5 decimal places. So I need to approximate up to 5 decimal places. That is 1.00876. So this also you can check with your calculator whether the value is correct or not. So now we'll go for the next different case with a polynomial for the following data. So polynomial means how we are going to work out. So he has given x values, y values, and since x values are equally spaced, I have to use either Newton forward or backward, but I need to put a polynomial means I need unknown x and unknown y. The polynomial, it should be in terms of y is equal to f of x. So x won't be given. So I'm going for forward interpolation formula by default to construct a polynomial for equally spaced interval of x values. So here x is kept as x itself for calculating n. and x naught is the initial value of the data set, which is 0. H is the common difference, which is 1, and therefore n is replaced by x itself in your interpolation formula. Again, I need forward interpolation difference table. So here I have constructed a difference table, and where del q values are totally 0. And if I go into write del power 4, del power 5, del power 6 also, my entries will be 0. So I'm not showing that in the table. And therefore, we are going for writing the formula. Y naught plus n into del y naught plus n into n minus 1 del square y naught plus n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 by 3 factorial into del cube y naught, etc. So when I replace n is equal to x, just see the previous slide, n is equal to x. Here I am using n is equal to x. And then the third term, that is del cube onwards, in your table you can see it is 0. And therefore here del cube is 0 means only 2 terms there. And if I extend the formula, that is if I expand the terms, I am getting the simplified polynomial as y equal to half times x square plus x plus 2. So whatever you see these problems, you try to work out with your calculator by memorizing the formulae. And if you have any issues, you can work out with their PPT also. Now this is problem number 5. I have written here 3. It is problem number 5. Okay. So now in problem number 5, again a different case. So what difference we have, we'll see. Estimate the number of persons earning weekly wages between 60 and 70 rupees in hundreds. That is 6,000 and 7,000. Okay. What I need to calculate? Number of persons. Okay. Now, what is the data set given? You see how the data set is. Wages below 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, 80 to 100, 100 to 120. So far, how your data sets are? You see all your previous examples. They are just a single entry. But now in this problem number 5, we can see the data set X entries are class intervals. If I have class intervals, how I'm going to work out? That's what I'm going to see. The number of persons for each class interval is given here also. Yes. Now, what is the question? I have to estimate the number of persons whose weekly wages lies between 60 and 70 rupees, which are in hundreds. That is, 60 and 70 means it lies here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to reconstruct the table for my convenience. How to reconstruct? So you see how we have reconstructed? The first entry is below 40. I'm going to write the second entry as below 60. Then what happens to the number of persons? Below 60 means it includes below 40 also. So I have to add these two for writing the x value of below 60. You see, below 60 means it includes below 40 also. So I have to add both the y values to write what is below 60. In the same way, for below 80, I have to add all the 3 entries, which will be the corresponding y value for below 80. And in a similar way, for below 100 and below 120. So what actually we are writing under y? The cumulative frequency. You would have heard about these term cumulative frequency when you are doing statistics in your lower classes. And based on this, I am going to calculate the difference table. So here I have 5 entries. So up to del power 4, I am having the entries. As usual, I am going to apply the Newton's forward difference formula. Why forward? Just see the explanation here. I need to find out between 60 and 70. So I have below 60 in the given problem itself. I want below 70. If I calculate below 70, then if I subtract below 70 minus below 60, I'll be getting the entry as below 70 minus below 60 is between 60 and 70. So I'll repeat again, if the class interval are given, you need to calculate the single x value by reconstructing the table like this. And if you want to calculate what is below, between 60 and 70, calculate below 70, and below 60 is already available in our table. So if you subtract these two values, you'll be getting below 60 and, sorry, between 60 and 70. Okay, right. So I'm calculating for which the n value is this. X is 70, x naught is 40, n is 1.5, and therefore using Newton forward interpolation formula, replacing from the forward difference table and n value, you are able to see y value is 423.6. What is y actually we are calculating? We are calculating number of persons. So it should not be having a decimal entry. It should be a whole number. So I'm just approximating 423.6, which is close to 424. Okay, because it's greater than 5. So I'm approximating to 424. Hence, the number of persons earning wages is nothing but below 70, which is 424, minus below 60, which is available in our data set itself, which is 370. And hence, the difference is 54. So final conclusion is, the number of persons earning wages between 60 and 70 in hundreds is equal to 54%. Okay, right. So now we'll go for the next formula called Newton's backward interpolation formula. So Newton's backward interpolation formula is given by a formula similar to forward interpolation formula. You see here, y is y naught plus n into del y naught by 1 factorial plus n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial, del square y naught plus n into n minus 1, n minus 2 by 3 factorial into del cube y naught plus etc. It goes on. The only difference between your forward and backward is the last entry is considered as initial. That is, in your data set, for example, this one, the last entry is x naught and y naught, instead of considering the first set. Okay, so this what the only difference we have under backward interpolation formula. And here, how I'm going to identify this? Take one example problem. X value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is equally spaced. So it should be a either forward or backward interpolation formula. And here the value of y I need to interpolate corresponding to x is equal to 4.7. Where 4.7 lies, it close to your end of the data set. So this will be your x naught, this will be your y naught, and this is your x. For calculating n as well as your formula, this is your initial assumption. Okay, then we go for calculating n. N here generally will be a negative value under backward. So n is 4.7 minus the last entry is 5 by divided by the common difference 1, which is minus 0.3. And this is a formula, and for applying this I need a backward difference table. You remember the difference between forward and backward difference table? Always the difference is the same. Succeeding minus preceding. That is, second entry minus first entry is 6. 28 minus 7 is 21. Same calculation how you did under your forward difference table. Only thing is, the values which we need for calculating the formula is the end of the data set. You see, this data only we are going to use for applying in this formula. So we are going for backward difference formula, entering all entries. N is minus 0.3 into del y naught, n into n plus 1. By that is one more difference, n into n plus 1. You see Newton's backward interpolation formula. It is n into n plus 1. Okay. I think I have done a mistake here. It should be plus. It is here plus. N into n plus 1, n plus 2, etc. It goes on. And therefore, while applying the formula, we'll be getting y is equal to 109.9173. Now we'll go for one more different case. Again, data set is given, the population in a certain town for the first 5 census is given below. Find the increase in the population. Increase in population, not a population, okay? He's not asking what is population. Increase in population during the period 2004 to 2006. What are the given data sets? Year 1971 to 2011 is given. How they are? Equally spaced. What is the common difference? 10 years. And the population in the town is given in terms of lakhs. And I need to calculate for 2004 and 2006. Where is 2004 and 2006 lies? Close to your end of the data set. So what I have to do? I have to consider case 1. What is case 1? X is 2004. Work out by calculating n. What is n? Minus 0.7. Find out what is y for the corresponding x value, that is 2004, using Newton's backward formula. Then case 2. What is case 2? X is 2006. Find out what is n. N is minus 0.5. Find out what is y using Newton backward formula. But our problem, our question is not that. What is the question? Population increase. How to calculate the increase? Population increase is given by population in 2006 minus population in 2004. That is, I have to calculate what is the population in 2006 as well as in 2004 as two different cases, and then I have to enter the values here and I have to work out. So I think you can take it as an exercise and you can solve this. So now we'll go for the second set of values, that is x is unequally spaced. So when x values are unequally spaced, how you are going to do interpolation? So already in the starting of the session, I've told you the only available general method is Lagrange's. So Lagrange is always applicable for both equally spaced as well as unequally spaced. But because of the lengthy calculation, we avoid doing this for equally spaced. We can do this for unequal intervals alone. Now you see, I have considered a data set, x and y values, x0, x1, x2, x3, x4, y0, y1, y2, y3. And here, the formula is given by y is equal to, you see the formula, x minus x1, x minus x2, x minus x3. For calculating y, I have to consider all x values in my data set divided by, here I left x0. So in the place of x, you see the numerator and denominator, they are same. The place of x, replace x0 in the denominator. Compare these two. You can easily understand the logic. Into the y0 for the first term, you see. Now similarly, you can write on the second term. Second term is, what is that? Leave x1 in the numerator. X minus x0, x minus y, x1 is not there. X minus x2, x minus x3. Denominator, wherever x comes, x1 will be there. Into the corresponding values y1. Now for the third term, leave x2. Write down the formula. Numerator is x minus x0, x minus x1. X minus x2 is not there. X minus x3 divided by denominator. You can see wherever x comes, we are replacing x by x2. The similar way, the last term is there. So this formula is used whenever for the given x, what is y. But the one beauty is here, for unequal interval, I can do the other way also. That is, whenever y is given, I can find what is the corresponding x also. That I can do using inverse interpolation formula. Again, the logic is same. The previous slide you can see, wherever x comes, that is replaced by y. And wherever y comes, that is replaced by x under the inverse interpolation formula. So both are very simple and very easy. Only thing is lengthy calculation. So you see the first problem here. Find the value of y when x is 10. So what is my first checking whenever a data set is given? Whether the x values are equally spaced or not. Here you see the difference is 1. Here the difference is 3. Here the difference is 2. So it is unequally spaced. So I can go for Lagrange interpolation formula. What is the formula? I have to find out what is y in terms of x. So I am writing the formula, replacing what is x0, y0, x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3 in the formula will get 14.63 where x is 10. Okay, so only thing is you have to do the calculation. Substitute all the things in the formula, you will get the answer. Now you go for the second problem, fit a polynomial again. So in the polynomial, already we have seen under equally spaced. This is for unequally spaced. 0, 1, the difference is 1. 1, 3, the difference is 2. Now corresponding y values. Again, how to get a polynomial? Instead of replacing any value of x, we'll keep x as it is. That is the meaning. So here I'm leaving x as it is. Replace what is x0, y0, x1, y1, x2, y2. I'm getting, after simplification, this polynomial. Okay. Then, now we'll go for the third problem. Here, find the value of x for the given y. So, y value is given. I have to find out what is x. How the entries are, whether they are equally spaced. 1, 2, 4. There is not equally spaced, unequally spaced, and therefore I have to use Lagrange's. But for Lagrange's, which one is this? Y is given. I have to find out x, that is inverse interpolation formula. So formula, you write down using your logic and replace all the values, and where y is replaced by 5. So when you do replacement and simplify, you will be getting what is x, which is 1.34. So with this, I complete my lecture today in today's class, and hope you have understood the interpolation section and unit 4. So the next sections are numerical differentiation and numerical integration, which you can see in the coming 4 sessions. Okay. Thank you, students.